Good evening, and I welcome you, students. We have been discussing about the chemical bond, how a covalent bond is formed, student. And today we will continue about this, student. And we are going to discuss very important points in the chemical bonding. We will be talking, student, the formation of the covalent bonds. There are two types of bonds. One is a sigma bond, student, sigma bond, and other is called pi bond. Let us
Yes,
see
sir.
what we mean by this, student. What is the meaning of sigma and pi bond, student? Covalent bond, student, is formed by covalent bond is formed, ठीक है, when the two atomic orbitals, when the two atomic orbitals to the when the two atomic orbitals containing one electron each overlap is important point, student. But we are talking is the formation of a covalent bond, student, is the result of overlap of the atomic orbitals. Okay, what we are saying, we are giving orbital overlap concept. What I am going to use, orbital overlap concept for the formation of a covalent bond. All I am saying, student, there will be overlap of the atomic orbitals. For example, student, if I consider formation of H2 molecule, how the H2 molecule is formed, student? In the hydrogen, you have two hydrogen atoms. Okay? What you have two hydrogen atoms. You have an 1s orbital of this hydrogen, student. What you have? 1s1. Okay? And this also has 1s1, right? So the atomic orbitals involved are 1s and 1s in the two cases. And what we are trying to show, student, that here you have one, this is my 1s orbital, this is an electron in the 1s orbital, this is also an electron, but the spin is opposite. You can see these are of opposite spin, students. Or if I show it like this,
Yes, sir.
these two electrons are of opposite spin of the two atoms of the hydrogen. The atomic orbital of this 1s, how it looks like, the atomic orbital of 1s looks like, this is spherically symmetric. You are aware of this, student. The shape of the 1s orbital you have seen in the book, student. This is a nucleus and this is a spherical symmetric for this hydrogen one. And what happens, students? Then the other orbital of this hydrogen, you have, let me put it in a more simple way, student. What we are saying, student, that you have this orbital, this is a s orbital of one hydrogen. Okay? This has got one electron. Then you have another orbital. This is one hydrogen atom, and this is another hydrogen atom, student. Okay? Now this has got also one electron, student, and they will overlap. What will happen? There is an overlap of these atomic orbital, students. There is an overlap of these two atomic orbitals. So the result is this overlap, and the electron gets paired up. You can see the electrons paired up, student.
Yes, sir.
So this is a overlap of 1s and 1s, 1s and 1s. Let me draw it in a better way because my drawing may not be that good, students. In general, what we are saying, this is one, they are overlapping. Okay? So this is the pairing of the electrons. Always they will have opposite spins, then only they can pair up. What happened? These spins are opposite, as you can see. So they have got paired up here. So this is the atomic overlap, which is resulting in the formation of a covalent bond. Now, in this case, hydrogen, you have only one s orbital. And because of this atomic orbital, students, you know that there is a definite orientation, direction of the properties of the bond. The bonds have direction properties. You know that. What do you know? Bonds have got directional properties, students. because of these atomic orbital overlap which is taking place whenever such orbital overlap. Now, interesting thing is, student, this was a case where there was only one electron in the s orbit. If there is a s and s orbital, there is how they are overlapping. S and s orbital, student, you can see that these two orbitals,
Yes, sir.
they are overlapping. If I use the molecular orbital concept, then I can say that these two orbitals are now not a, this is not a atomic orbital, they become molecular orbitals when they overlap. Molecular orbital, okay? The overlap of two s orbitals, okay? When I can say that when two atomic orbitals combine, we'll learn this in another theory which we say molecular orbital. When two atomic orbitals, student, combine, two molecular orbitals are formed. Two molecular orbitals are
Yes,
formed,
sir.
student. One is called the bonding, other is called anti-bonding. One is
One is
called
called
bonding,
bonding and
molecular orbital, another is called anti-bonding. We will see that in another theory which we call as molecular orbital theory. We will explain more about that. Here we are only saying now that you can see that the in this case you can see the when the overlap has taken place, student, these are not two atoms, it has become a molecule, H2. This is H2. So here we are saying covalent bond can be formed when an atomic orbital containing uh, two electrons, when an atomic orbitals containing one electron overlaps with an atomic orbital of another atom, student. So they get paired up, as you can see. So this is also called LCA, or linear combination of atomic orbitals. Linear combination of atomic orbitals, student, which is based on the wave functions, student. Wave functions can be added or subtracted. Interesting thing, student, which we want to tell you, that how the overlap takes place. What we are talking is the overlapping of different atomic orbitals. And we can form two types of bonds, student. One is called sigma bond. Sigma bond, student, and other is called pi bond. As I've written, sigma bond and pi bond, student, there are two types of bond which can be formed. So when a covalent bond, when the two atomic orbitals overlap head on, when two atomic orbitals overlap head on, what we call as head on. This is called head-on, student, or it is also called along the same axis. Along the same axis. Now I will show you. I will show you a diagram of that. So head-on overlap, or what we say, the overlap is formed by the end to end, end to end overlap of bonding orbitals. When the two atomic overlap head-on or end to end, ठीक है, end to end along the internuclear axis. Internuclear axis. That type of bond is called, student, a sigma bond. For example, when I showed you, student, when I showed you s orbital, this is my s orbital, and there is another s orbital. When I draw these pictures, student, what they show? They show the probability of finding the electron, student, orbitals. I'm showing, you can see these books. Actually, the electron density is everywhere, which we are not able to show here. So when they overlap, student, we have seen what type of overlap is this. They are overlapping like this. This is head-on overlap, end-to-end overlap. And this is a S, this is S. So this is SS overlap. And I will call this is a sigma bond. This is a sigma bond, student. This is the formation of a sigma bond. And I can also have, student, the p orbital shape of the p orbitals is known to you. So there are three p orbitals, they are oriented towards x, y, and z axis. Student, they are perpendicular to each other. Students, the direction has been given by the wave equation, Schrödinger's wave equation. We know there are three p orbitals. So what happens, students, when the overlapping of the p orbitals takes place? One possibility, you can see that this is one p orbital. Student, if I consider this one to be my 2pz student, then you have another p orbital. If the overlap is like this, student, this is what we call as, what type of overlap is this? This is 2p z of one and 2p z of another atom. This type of overlap, you can see, student, this is pp overlapping, pp overlapping. This is one p orbital and another p orbital. So this is a overlap head on or end to end, student, and this will result in the formation of a sigma bond. These are the examples of the sigma bond formation, student, where uh, also the s can overlap with the p orbital also, student. Sp overlap is also possible. If I have s and you have, student, p, so they can overlap, student, along the same axis. So what will be the result of that? You can have, this is my p, student, this is my s. So what is this sp overlapping? These are overlapping head on or overlapping along the axis, student. These are known as sigma bonds. What do we call them? There is a formation of a sigma bond. So in the case of hydrogen, which we have shown here, what is happening? The 1s atomic orbital of hydrogen has got one unpaired electron, another has got another, and the opposite spin electron, student, they will overlap. These atomic orbitals overlap and they form a covalent bond. They form a covalent bond, and this covalent bond in the case of hydrogen is a sigma bond. What is this? Sigma bond. Sigma bond, student, noted.
Yes, sir.
So sigma bonds result from axial head-on overlap of atomic orbital. The electron distribution in sigma bond lies along the axis joining the two nuclei. Electron density lie along the axis. Along the axis, student, joining the two nuclei. There is a nuclei here. There is a nuclei here, positive, and along the axis, the electron density lies. Okay. So this is the example of the formation of the sigma bond. First, I have shown you what is a sigma bond, student. Okay. Let me see the second type of bond. The second type I am saying, student, is pi bond. If I have S and S, they cannot form pi bond, student. There, the overlap is along the axis. The atomic orbitals overlap in such a way the axes remain parallel to each other and perpendicular to the internuclear axis. What happens in pi bond is formed? This is formed by the, student, formed by the sideways overlap, sideways overlap of p orbitals, of parallel p orbital, student. What we are, you know that p orbitals are three and perpendicular to each other. If one of them will form sigma bond, then the next two will only form pi bond because they are parallel to each other. They are oriented at 90 degree to each other. Okay. So students, two p orbitals, they can form a pi bond. Okay. The electron density in pi bond lies above and below the internuclear axis. In one point. Second, the electron density in a pi bond, okay, lies lies where? Above and below the, lies above and below the internuclear axis. Nucleus, you have two nuclei now along the internuclear axis, student. So what is the result of that? You see that if I have, this is one p orbital, This is the shape of one p orbital. Px z, if pz was like that, which we have shown along the head-on, then supposing this is my 2px student, and there is another one with 2px. These are sideways overlap. As you can see, they are parallel to each other. Are they parallel to each other? Yes or no? These two. So they are px, they are parallel to each other. What will happen, student? Now there is a sideways overlap. They are overlapping in sideways, student. What will be the result of that? The result will be that they will look like this. You have one, and this is my internuclear axis, as you can see. And student, this is another one. So this is a sideways overlap or parallel p orbitals. The result of this is what happens, student, that the electron density is above and below, student, the internuclear axis. This is our internuclear axis. So you will have an electron density, student. This is our electron density above, and you have an electron density, student, below. You have electron density above and below the internuclear axis. This is the formation of a pi bond. Students, these are, you know what are orbitals? The probability distribution of electron around the nucleus, student, is given by the orbital, as you have seen in the 4 quantum numbers which we discussed, student, the shapes of these orbitals. So the p orbitals, if they are overlapping head on, then they will form a sigma bond. If they are parallel, then they will form a pi bond. It is clear, if one of the p orbital is forming sigma, the other two will form a pi bond. Therefore, student, in the covalent bonds, you know that there can be single, double, or a triple bond, and they will contain sigma as well as pi bonds are possible. That we will show you as we will take the examples of this, as we will take the examples of it. The important point is the strength of sigma and pi bonds. What do you think? Which bond will be stronger, sigma or pi? Which bond will be stable, student? The greater the overlap of the atomic orbital, the more stronger the overlap, the stronger will be the bond. Is it clear? So basic strength of bond depends on the extent of overlapping. I am saying basic strength. The basic strength of a bond will depend on what factor? Will depend on the extent of student, extent of the overlapping of the atomic orbitals. Is it clear? Where
Yes,
is
sir.
the overlap better, student? Where is more effective overlap? The larger the overlapping, the stronger the bond. So the sigma bond, student, sigma bond is always stronger than pi bond, because the effect overlap, extent of overlap is more, because the extent of overlap is more, student. So whenever this bond is formed, you will see that if you have only single bond, student, you will find, if I have only single bond, then what is this? If I say HH, then it is a sigma bond, student. It is a sigma bond. But when you will have multiple bonds, so student, then what is the result of that? Whenever there will be multiple bonds, student, then what will happen, student? Multiple bond or what? Double bond or triple bond, students. So they will have sigma and pi bond both. Both sigma and pi bond will be present in the case of the multiple bonds. In the case of multiple bonds, it can be double. For example, in oxygen, if I say oxygen is a double bond, you know. So
Yes,
then
sir.
say one sigma and one pi. And nitrogen, you are saying, is a triple bond. Then there is a one sigma and two pi in the case of nitrogen. So students, we are aware of this, the sigma and pi bond formation in this compound, student. There are 4 sigma CH bonds. They are single bonds. So there are 4 sigma CH bond. But if I write, student, this compound C double bond, you know what is the name of this compound, organic compound, student? This is ethene. This is my ethene, student. Then what it has, this is a sigma bond, 1 sigma and 1 pi bond. This is sigma, this is sigma. So we can say how many sigma are there, student? CH, how many? 1 CC sigma and 4 CH sigma and 1 CC pi bond. So this is the sigma and pi bond, both are present. Which is more strength? Which bond is stronger, student? Sigma or pi? Tell me now. Which bond is stronger? You already know that pi bond is stronger, student. Which bond is stronger? Pi bond. ठीक है? Is it clear? Can you
Yes, sir.
understand what I said? What I said, student? What I
Yes,
told
sir.
you? That how these bonds are being formed, student? How these bonds are being formed? Sigma and pi bonds. So, for example, student, if I take the case of, student, if I take the case of the formation uh, of a bond, student, for example, if I consider bonding in ethene molecule, the carbon atoms and hydrogen atoms come together to form ethene. I'm saying there are carbon atoms. What is the formula of ethene? C2H4. How many carbon atoms? 2. And how many hydrogen atoms? 4 hydrogen atoms. Okay? How many hydrogen atoms? 4. Now they are coming together to form. Ethene. How many? Two carbons, 4 hydrogen atoms. They are coming together to form which molecule? C2H4. This is my ethene. What will happen, student? What is carbon? What is the atomic number of carbon? 6, 1s2, 2s2, and you are saying 2p2. Is that the carbon?
Yes, sir.
Now, how many bonds the carbon has to form, student? In this case, carbon, you are having 4. Which orbitals are going to overlap, student? Actually, one of these gets excited when hydrogen atoms come. So what you get? You have s orbital, you have 2p orbitals, and you have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 electrons. There are 4 electrons, students. Now this is carbon 1. Similarly, there is a carbon 2. That is also same configuration. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
2s and 2p. ठीक है? When this
Yes,
will
sir.
come to form bond with this, what will happen? Then the spin will be opposite to this carbon and carbon. ठीक है? And you have, student, electrons in this 2 carbons, and hydrogens are coming. How many hydrogens? There are 4 hydrogens, and each hydrogen, how many? You have, if you have, you will see 1 carbon, and one is forming it with this. Let me put it like this, no problem. Right now I'm only showing because what we are showing, student, if I have, this is forming with this carbon, so I'm showing like this, and then you are putting it like this, supposing you can put anyway though, right now, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, you want to show it like this, same way. Now the hydrogens will be 4, student. When they will overlap, the spins opposite should be there. Otherwise, such overlap is not possible. So what is happening? You have carbon. You have one carbon. Okay? The p orbital of this is a p orbital, and another p orbital of this, another p. They are overlapping. Okay?
Yes,
This
sir.
will overlap. What type of bond is this? Sigma. Okay?
Yes,
Sigma
sir.
bond. And what will happen then, students? The sigma bond is being formed, and then with the carbon, student, what is a carbon p, and there is a p orbital. There are two p orbitals, student, more two p orbitals. So what will they will form, student? This is the s orbital of the hydrogen, s orbital of the hydrogen, s orbital of the hydrogen, s orbital of the hydrogen. So the opposite spin electrons will come. But after that, what will happen? How many are used? Two hydrogen and one carbon. One electron will be left, student, on each carbon. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And this will be of parallel spin, parallel spin, parallel spin. Okay? So what will they form? That will be a pi bond. It will form a pi bond, student. So there are four orbitals, one s and three p in the outer shell. Only three orbitals are used in bonding to the other carbon and two hydrogen atoms. So there is a p orbital containing one electron remaining on each carbon. What I am saying, one p orbital
Yes,
remains
sir.
on each carbon because each carbon is forming one bond with carbon and two bonds with two hydrogens. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है? And these two p orbitals of two carbons sideways overlap and therefore will form a pi bond. What they are forming? This is our pi bond, student. So when I say in ethene, student, what I can show in ethene, we show it like this: one sigma, one pi, and this is my carbon. So you have hydrogen, student. You have hydrogen. We are showing by dash lines which are going away from us. Okay? You have seen the two types, wedge and dash structure, student. And hydrogen and hydrogen, student. So what is this sigma bond? What is this sigma bond? Sigma bond, sigma. So in such cases, you will get sigma and pi bond. So you get a double bond. What we say? There is a double bond, student, here. There is a double bond. Carbon, carbon, double bond, student.
Yes, sir.
So carbon, carbon, double bond, student, has less than twice the strength of a carbon, carbon. If I see the strength of the bonds, bond energy, student. One carbon carbon bond energy is 348 kilojoules per mole. ठीक है? And carbon carbon bond energy is 612 kilojoules per mole. If I multiply this 348 single, if I multiply by this, how much it will be? 8 to the 16, 9, and 3 to the 6. You see, 6 kilojoule per mole, and this value is more than this value. Two carbon single bonds more value than this. You can see that because, student, sigma bond, the overlap is more effective.
Yes,
The
sir.
sigma bond overlap is more effective, student. Therefore, sigma bond is a head-on overlap. Therefore, there is a more attraction between the electron pair and the two nuclei, okay, in the sigma bond. So you can see that sigma bond is a more stable, student, and has more strength. What we are saying, the strength of The strength of sigma bond, student, is more than pi bond. That's what I try to say. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So students, here we have tried to show you that the overlap of atomic orbitals takes place and opposite spin electrons get paired up. The bond formation takes place. There can be two types of bond, students, one sigma, other pi. In the sigma, there is a head-on overlap along the axis. In the pi, sideways overlap, but sigma bond is stronger than pi bond. Sigma bond has more strength because the overlap extent is more in sigma as compared to pi. The larger the overlap, more effective the overlap, stronger will be the bond formation. Is it clear? So
Yes,
this
sir.
is important, student, that larger this. Okay. Then another interesting thing, student, we studied about resonance and delocalization. What do you mean by resonance and delocalization, student? Delocalization. What we are saying, for example, if I take O3 and you draw the Levy structure, draw the Levy structure. You have drawn the Levy structure of ozone. How it was there? O, 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 student. Okay? And how many? 2, 4, 6. There were 2 electrons. Here there are 4 electrons. Here there are 6 electrons. Okay?
Yes, sir.
But student, this will show that one of the oxygen is a double bond and one is a single bond. According to this structure, one O bond is double and one O bond is single. That this is a shorter bond, student. Double bond is always shorter and this is a longer bond. According to
Uh,
this, according to this picture. Okay? But it was found, however experimentally, student, when they measured the bond length experimentally, both the bond lengths were equal. Both the bond lengths are equal, student, and they were found to be oxygenation bond length of 0.1 to 1 nanometer is a double bond and single is 0.148, but experimentally they found the bond lengths were equal. Okay? So um, both the bond lengths are equal experimentally. How much? 0.128 student nanometer. This was the bond length experimentally found. Both are equal, both. So there was an attempt to explain the equality of the bond lengths in such molecules. How do you explain this, student? So we earlier suggested, student, because the oxygen double bond will be 0.1 to 1 nanometer, and oxygen single bond will be 0.148 nanometer. This is longer, but experimentally we find both lengths are equal. So how do we explain this, student? So what was suggested, student, that we can draw another structure of ozone. What was that? So what we said, we can draw another structure of ozone, which is equally good, Now here there are 6 electrons, student, and there are 4 here, and this is a equally good structure. So you are saying that there is a resonance between these two structures. We introduce the concept of resonance structures. What do we call them as? Resonance structure, students.
yes, sir.
That these are two resonant structures, and we say that we can represent like this, student, that actually these electrons of these double bond electrons are not on one oxygen, but they are present on both the oxygen, student. So we show it by a resonance hybrid. Okay? So the sigma orbital framework is not changing, but the pi bond, student, what we are saying, the pi bonds are on both the sides, student, on both the sides. So this will account for 0.128 nanometer in both the bonds. Now it is more than single, but less than a double. So this is an explanation, student, So what we are saying, student, instead of resonance, now we are saying that delocalization is the sharing of pair of electrons between three or more atoms. That the pi electrons, we are saying the pi electrons are delocalized, are delocalized, student. Okay? On three atoms, on three oxygen atoms, on three oxygen atoms. If they get localized, student, then one is a double, other is a single. But since the experimentally the bond lengths are equal, student, so what we are saying, student, that there is a delocalization of these electrons. Which electrons? The pi electrons are delocalized. And we show it by this method, student, delocalization. Okay? Two equivalent representation of the delocalization in ozone molecule, in ozone molecule. So dashed lines represent the delocalization of electrons. Dashed line, students, represents delocalization, delocalization of the electrons. ठीक है? Delocalization of the electrons. So these two electrons of the pi, they are not fixed on this, but they are delocalized. They are on all the three atoms. They are on all the three atoms, student. That's what we are talking about. So the single bond of the ozone is examined, that there is a p orbital on each oxygen atom that is perpendicular to the plane. The p orbital on oxygen atom 1 can overlap with p orbital on oxygen 2, which is a part of the pi bond. Similarly, in this way, electron pair of pi bond is spread, delocalized over all the three oxygen atoms. What we are saying. How many oxygen atoms are there? 1, 2, and 3, students. ठीक है? What is the
Yes, sir.
oxygen? 8, 1s2, 2s2, 2p, 4. ठीक है? So
Yes, sir.
when oxygen is forming a bond with itself, student, you know that it oxygen 6 plus 2, 8. Oxygen is a double bond, but one is a sigma and one is a pi bond. So each oxygen atom has got a, if I show it like this, student, what is happening? There is a p orbital on each oxygen. P orbital on each oxygen. Tell me.
Mm.
So what is happening to them, student? Then this p orbital is there on each oxygen atom. The p orbital on oxygen can overlap with p on atom 2, which is a part of, this way electron pair of pi is spread and delocalized over all the three oxygen atoms. Okay?
Yes,
So there
sir.
is a p orbital on each oxygen atom that is perpendicular to the plane of the molecule. On each oxygen atom, you have a p orbital that is perpendicular to the plane of the molecule. Plane of the molecule, students. And the result is what we are saying, student, that the dash line we are showing, dash line. Dash line means what, student? That the the electrons are these electrons, student, are not fixed on two oxygen. They are delocalized on the three oxygens, on the three. So electron pair of the pi bond is spread. What I'm saying, what is delocalization means now here? What do you mean by delocalization? Electron pair of pi, ठीक है, of pi bond is spread over how many atoms? Over three
Yes, sir.
oxygen atoms. And whenever these electrons are delocalized, student, the molecule becomes more stable. The molecule becomes more stable. So student, one thing is important that we are trying to say, this was my fourth point. Fifth, whenever there is a delocalization of electron, okay, that is delocalization of electrons through resonance, we call this as a resonance. Whenever there is a delocalization of electron, it increases the stability. it increases the stability. That is why it happens. That is why it happens. ठीक है? Noted?
Yes,
You
sir.
noted, students? Delocalization. So the sideway overlap becomes a pi delocalized system. Electrons in the system do not belong to any of atom but are delocalized over the whole molecule, and this will give more stability. This provides more stability, students, to the molecule. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Okay. For some 4 more examples which we want to show student. If I consider NO3 minus, student, NO3 minus. Here the what is the in NO3, student? We can draw how many possible structures? 3 structures can be drawn. 3 structures can be drawn for NO3, student. You can see. Okay. And now what we are representing, student, here, what we are representing like this. What it means, student? This means that the the 2 pi electrons are not present on one nitrogen oxygen, but they are delocalized in the nitrate ion. Okay? And if you experimentally find the bond length, student, experimentally the bond length, student, of all the 3 nitrogen oxygen will be same. That it comes to be 0.124 nanometer. All the 3 NO bond lengths are found to be 0.124 nanometer, which compared with nitrogen oxygen, single oxygen bond length, student, um, will be different. That will be longer than this. That will be longer than this. So the nitrogen oxygen bond length in nitrate is 0.124 nanometer, which can be compared with nitrogen oxygen bond length of 0.118 nanometer in NO2 minus. NO2 minus. The bond order of nitrogen oxygen in NO2 is 1.5. So what is the bond order here? What is the bond order in this case, student? You have 1 plus 1 plus. There are 3 bonds, and what is important? And 1 bond which is distributed over 3 atoms. Okay? What will be that in NO2, NO3 minus, because there is a negative charge on this. Negative charge. Okay? Negative charge. I am showing by bracket. We have drawn the structure of this. So this is 0.124 nanometer, and the bond order of nitrogen oxygen is in NO3 minus is 1.33 bond order. If I compare this with NO2 minus, student, NO2 minus, what happens in NO2 minus? How do you draw? In NO2, what happens? Here you have. Now this pi electron here, you can see the 2 pi electrons, the 2 pi electrons. How many electrons are there in pi bond? The 2 pi electrons. Okay? The 2 pi electrons. They are distributed where? In 3 bonds. In 3 bonds. 3 NO bonds. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
How many are these? 3. And this is 1 pi bond. Okay? So 1 pi bond has 2 electrons. But in this case, what happened? 1 pi bond, it has 2 electrons, 2 pi electrons. Okay? 2 pi electrons. They are distributed or delocalized. Distributed or delocalized. Okay? Over
Yes, sir.
how many? 1, 2, 3. Here there are 4 atoms. They were distributed among the four of these atoms. 4 p orbitals are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, how many? 3 are
Yes, sir.
delocalized over 2 nitrogen oxygen bonds. Or how many atoms are these? How many p orbitals are there? 1, 2, 3. How many p orbitals? 1, 2, 3. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
There are 3 p orbitals. Delocalization. Here how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 p orbitals. So the pi are distributed over 4 p orbitals. So this value is found to be 0.124, and in the case of the nitrogen oxygen bond length is, when compared with the nitrogen oxygen bond, of 0.118. Here the bond length is, student, nitrogen oxygen bond length is found to be 0.118 nanometer. ठीक है? The bond order of nitrogen oxygen is 1.5, and the here bond order is, what is the bond order? The bond order of nitrogen oxygen is 1.5, ठीक है, where it is 1.33, and nitrogen oxygen bond length 0.118 nanometer. What is the bond order? 3 by 2, 1, 2, 3 atoms, so it is 1.5. Higher the bond order, smaller the value of the bond length. Higher the bond order, smaller the bond length. Is it clear? The bond length is smaller. Noted? Have you noted, student?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let us see another important example. Resonance and delocalization of electrons. Students, which electrons? Pi electrons in benzene. Important point, student, that it was found, molecular formula of benzene was found to be how much? C6H6. ठीक है? And earlier, you know, the structure which was proposed by Kekulé was that, what he said, structure of benzene, 1, 2, 3, one single, alternate single and double bonds. Alternate single and double bonds, student. ठीक है? In the benzene. ठीक है? And when it became possible to measure the bond lengths, when they measured the bond length, student, experimentally, now we have apparatus, we have equipment to measure the bond lengths now. All the carbon bond length benzene are equal. What they found? Experimentally, student, what they found? All carbon bond lengths equal. Now, how will we explain? According to this, one is a double bond. Double bond is shorter than a single bond. So there should be 2 bond lengths, student, one bigger and one smaller. But all the bond lengths were measured, were equal, and they were coming to be 0.140 nanometer. 0.140 nanometer. They were experimentally measured, student. Now, this is not the single bond and double bond, student. So, because carbon double bond is already known to us, student, carbon double bond is 0.134 nanometer, and carbon single bond has been measured experimentally to be 0.154 nanometer. Now this value is neither of these two, in between. So this was originally, we explained that benzene is a resonance hybrid. Originally what we said, in order to explain this, what they said, that benzene is a resonance hybrid of 2 structures, of 2 calculus structure. ठीक है? Resonance hybrid of 2 structures. What were those two structures? You know what they said, ki, what is happening in benzene? These double bonds are shifting. We can draw another structure of benzene, student. In another structure, what I have done, student, I have shifted these double bonds. So they are saying that it is a resonance hybrid of two structure. So equal contributions of these two resonance hybrids. Okay? So we explained this by resonance hybrid with equal contribution. We said there are two structures of benzene and there is a equal contribution. That's what we said.
Yes, sir.
And we said that it is a resonance hybrid of the two structures. Okay? But as
Yes,
we
sir.
say, now we have a important idea. Now what we say, delocalization of pi electrons. So now what we say, delocalization of pi electrons. What do you mean by this, student? What do you mean by delocalization of pi electrons? So now our explanation is delocalization of pi electrons. How many pi electrons are there in this, student? How many two? There, how many double bonds are seen here? One, two, three. So two into three, there are six pi electrons, student. Because on each carbon, student, what we have, student, each carbon has, what is each carbon? What I'm trying to say, student? Carbon, student, is six, 1s2, 2s2, 2p2, and what you said, student, the excited state of carbon looks like this. 2s and 2p. Okay?
Yes,
So
sir.
each carbon in benzene is forming how many bonds, students? This is your benzene. How many bonds are being formed? Each carbon is forming how many bonds? Tell me.
4 bonds.
Where are the four bonds? One, two, three, four. Each carbon, this is one carbon, this is another carbon, this is another, this is another, this is another. So each carbon is forming, student, how many? One carbon, carbon, and two carbon, carbon, this carbon, two carbon, carbon, single bond, and one CH. Matlab each carbon is forming three sigma bonds. Forming three sigma bonds. Okay? According to this picture. But after it forms three sigma bond, then what happens? Then what happens? If three sigma bonds are formed, student, then what will happen? Tell me what will happen if three sigma bonds are being formed? Then what is the result of this, students? What is the result of this? On each carbon, what will happen? After each carbon forms three sigma bonds, what is the result? Then electron, one electron, this one electron is left unused
Yes, sir.
on each carbon. And these electrons, these are the p orbitals. These p orbitals, student, are parallel to each other. Are parallel to each other, students. And what will happen? Then these electrons are delocalized. We are saying the benzene alternating double bond is still known as calculi. So more systematic than this. Then we are saying that they get delocalized. What we are saying, student, that there is a delocalization of these pi electrons. Delocalization of these pi electrons, which takes place in the case of the benzene, student. What is happening? Delocalization of the pi electrons. These electrons will get what? Delocalized. In the case of the benzene, student, the six pi electrons are delocalized over the entire ring, student, which means six carbons. So students, what we are showing, you have this my benzene, and there is a p, 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 and there is a one electron in each of them, students. Okay? This one electron is present in each of them. What is happening, student? These are delocalized. They are now present over the entire ring. They are present over the entire ring, student, on all the carbons. So that when the electrons get delocalized, student, they are moving on all the carbons. It's not that they are present on carbon 1 and 2 or carbon 4 and 5. They are present on all the 6 carbon. And whenever such a delocalization takes place, the molecule becomes very stable, student. The delocalization gives delocalization of electrons. Delocalization of electron provides extra stability, extra stability to the molecule. That is why, student, we call benzene as an aromatic compound. That is why they are called aromatic compound, students. So we say benzene is aromatic, student. Aromatic compounds. Though it has C6H6 molecular formula. It has a 3 double bond, but these 3 double bonds are not localized. These are the pi electrons are delocalized over the entire benzene ring, student. The pi electrons are delocalized over the entire benzene ring. Therefore, the compound becomes highly stable, is extra stable. So this is extra stable. That is why its properties are different than the unsaturated compounds. It does not give the test of unsaturation or a double bond, student. So this becomes extra stable. So now the concept of resonance has been replaced. The concept of resonance has been replaced, student, by what? We have replaced the concept of hydrogen by the concept of hydrogen. We have replaced by what we are saying? By what method? Delocalization. Important point you have noted that how we
Yes,
are
sir.
explaining, student, this concept of the resonance. So overlap of p orbitals, delocalization we are explaining in so many molecules, student. Rather than resonance, now we are giving a better explanation. That is the delocalization. Delocalization. You now understand what do you mean by delocalization and resonance? What do you mean by delocalization and resonance, students? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is a ends up one more topic which we were talking about. Only next time we will discuss the hybridization, which itself is a complete chapter. So I don't want to start at this time because it will take 1 hour to explain the hybridization. Then I will see you in my next class. Okay. Good night. Then I meet you in the next class. You keep practicing and doing the questions. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good night. Then I will see you. Then.